You can see the title, No Reflections. Some people will look in the mirror every day, but what do they really see? They don't see anything. And this is how I'm going to describe President Trump right now, as a person who does not look in the mirror. And I'm going to explain why. Because it makes no sense at all that you would go to war with the spiritual powerhouse. And you lack all truth and spiritual awareness. Just look at us. It's a shame. So he concocted or came up with a way to sneak a war, to satisfy a very fragmented person who was ruling with the ego, control, no concern for anyone else on the planet whatsoever. But this person wants our country to physically fight their personal, their cults, their occult battles. Because it's more than one person. It's an occult. So it's a spiritual battle, but we see it brought to the forefront, brought physically, because Iran is a very spiritual place. Very spiritual place. Very beautiful place. Those people don't have, we're just gonna haul off and just shoot them because they think differently than we do. No, they have much respect for their God. Anybody who's in any religion and they take it seriously, that's the way you want them to think. And they accept others. No, go ahead, Tina. And if they're accepting of others and they understand, they have the understanding that all people have the right to believe and think the way they do, the way they want to, then, those are the people we give the highest regard and respect to. But those who think, oh, your religion is wrong or you're thinking wrong, because at least people are spiritual in Iran. And all this stuff that they come up with, like the protesters, people not happy in their country, so what? Let them deal with it. Nobody came to the rescue of black people in America. They tried. And look what they did to Libya when he tried to give money for the black people here in America. That's how hateful people are. That's the hate. That's the not looking in the mirror. Sometimes it's easy to look in the mirror and resolve things. But for some people, it's hard to do that, So to self-reflect, to show some connection to their God within. They don't want to do that. Some people just don't want to do that. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. At least they have that. At least they self-reflect over there, in Iran. They self-reflect so that they never once thought about coming over to America and bombing us. That's what you got. And the same old thing keeps happening. Lies, 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 lies. Yes, exactly. Regardless of how they think or what they want to be, their imaginations, their minds, you know, you allow people to be free because what else lets people be free? The God you wrestle with within yourself allows people to be free, to be what they want to be. But it's their consciousness that it's going to change them to make sure they take care of themselves properly. It's their own consciousness, and they can only get that through their struggles, not through somebody else changing them. And those people are so spiritually on high on the charts that they don't need this at all, from what I feel. They don't need fragmentation coming along. But perhaps that fragmentation is for us to learn from. What is happening now, Satan is at work. And we're going to have to face this backlash and figure out what it is that we need to do. Because people hold the power. The mirror is not just for one, it's for all of us to look at and reflect. But no, I am totally against this, and I'm totally upset, evidently, obviously, that he would do this, that they would do this, it's very, it's very, very disturbing. I don't know what street I decided to go down. Okay. I'm just perturbed. Let's just say that. I'm just so perturbed. I hate war with a passion. I hate it, and I don't know why. It has to be here. Only if somebody was bothering us, that would be okay. Okay. Only if somebody was bothering us. They don't have sidewalks down that street. So I'm not going down there. So I gotta cut over. So I'm in the wrong place. Hey, good morning. But I'm gonna try to keep peaceful in my own mind, even though chaos is ringing out on a lovely country. All countries are lovely. All cultures are lovely. It's a shame that it's just a shame that he can't see, that they can't see. I'm just so frustrated right now. How do you guys feel about it? Why do you want to see my face? I don't feel like showing myself today. I'd like to talk. I'll show myself really quickly. My hair is kind of all over the place. I'm just letting it flow. But it's all over the place today. So I need to, eventually I'll fix it in some other way, protective style again. But right now, I'm just letting it flow. But it's a shame. It's a shame, shame, shame that we have such evil on this planet. Such evil that can't see that they're the reason. You see, it's backwards. They say you got to get to heaven, but heaven and hell is a state of mind. Because when you die, you go into darkness. You go into the shadowland. You go into shadowland and you don't have any kind of memory. The only memory you have is of people. But you don't have memory of how you got to the shadowland or shadow world. You don't have memory of that, of any pain or any of that. It's none of that. Emotions, none of that. None of that lower stuff. But you have your consciousness. You have your conscious. You have your, that's what you have, the mind. But not a lower mind, a higher mind. So let me see something. I'm sorry, guys. Been trying to figure out if there's a way I can finish. I don't want to do none of those questions or polls. Okay. So talking about there be casualties. They want casualties. Don't they know that that is the most evil thing? That war doesn't resolve anything. It resolves nothing. And then he's calling for regime change for the people that ask for regime change. Like the people, it's not the people's fault. It's not their government's fault. Like in Mexico, It's all America's fault. Everything is America's fault. You know, you can't have a great place. I told you guys that no place on earth is going to be great or they can boast about. There's no place on earth you can boast about because of the lack of spirituality, the lack of understanding, and no reflections. When you have no reflections, you cannot have greatness because self-reflecting is how you work through the kinks to get to your light, your true self, your light, and your greatness. Then you can start producing greatness. You can't produce greatness if you produce in division and you produce in hate. There's no such thing as greatness been born from something like that. I wonder who thought of that. Let's hate and cause war and destruction and be great. Yeah. Who thought of that? No greatness for you. No greatness for you. Mm-mm-mm. If somebody can tell me one great thing that will come out of this, I can tell you how that is not so great. I can explain to you just how that is not so great. I don't know why we think that Christianity somehow, as it is taught here, is supposed to produce a good leader. Any comments on that? Because I'm still trying to figure that one out. If something is born on a lie, how can you gain anything good from that? The only thing good is the awakening of the people who have to endure the agony. That is the only good thing that will pop out, because I talked about this. What the devil meant for bad is actually good. It's good for the world because it shows something crucial. It will show something very crucial. For one thing, it shows that we can never let these things keep happening like this, because Trump is a mirror, but not only a mirror, He is exposing a lot of things to the people here in America. He shows us light. He shows us through his hypocrisy. He is really making that light bright, and that's all I'm going to say, people. So with that said, always remember true love, real peace, the higher self within your soul. Till next time, peace. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.